Welcome to the CMO Spotlight, and I am so excited to have this conversation today with Ben Boyd, who is the Chief Communications Officer for Chobani.
Recognize as early as you possibly can that your career is a series of chapters. And
Hmm.
each chapter, at some point in time, for some reason, is going to come to an end. And that's just the end of that chapter. And what's incredibly exciting is you get to then design what the next one is. Sometimes that's smooth transition, sometimes that's bumpy transition. Embrace the newness of the chapter, but then be open to the unexpected in terms of how that story plays out. Be open to the fact that it may not be a great chapter, but don't get mired in that, right? Know that, again, there's going to be an end to this. And then, look forward and think about what's next. An innate curiosity that has enabled me to kind of to take in a lot of information and distill it down, which I think is the ultimate job of a communicator, right? I think that what I've refined in that superpower is the asking of questions. I think early in career, we think we have to have all the answers. Certainly on the agency side, you're led to believe that you have to have all the answers. I think powerful, thoughtful, intentional questions are far
Hmm.
better than answers because you're really helping the person that you're working with, that you're working for, the client that you're supporting, really unpack and get to the core of what they're trying to solve. So I think it's the ability to take all that in, process it, ask the right questions, and then think about the path forward or paths forward, and be able to articulate, the recommendation. I've always said that communications does not drive strategy. Communications make strategy relevant and resonant to the right stakeholders, right? And so I've always understood that I'm not a decision-making function, I'm a decision-informing function. So I think that I guess that would be the superpower, maybe. I think empathy is incredibly important, and I don't know that we talk about it enough. I don't know what's going on for my team members outside of work, right? And so I think it's, understanding that I don't know fully, and how can I support them fully by being inquisitive, by giving them real-time feedback, by checking in. And I mean that also for my peers and my bosses, right? Because all of those folks are living, complex lives just like I am. So I think empathy incredibly important. I think fairness is another North Star. When I think about coming in house in these three roles, the first thing I did was look at roles, remits, and total compensation, right? It was incredibly
Hmm.
important to me that everyone was comped fairly. And so my expectations of the team are fairly aligned against their jobs and their performance. And I want to be treated fairly. Apple, I think, has done a remarkable job of sort of maintaining an integrity to a design North Star, right? I'm a big Apple user. I think their ecosystem is, for me, simple, easy, powerful. I also then think of like smaller brands, right? I think Katie Couric has just made herself an incredible brand as a media entity right now, and where she is and how she's navigating. I listen to her podcast, The Next Question, all the time. And that's just one of many ways that she's still incredibly relevant, incredibly respected and trusted as a journalist. And I think journalistic brands today are, under assault in a highly polarized world. I also just think of a Patagonia, the original, you could argue, for profit that said we're gonna do both. We're gonna make money and we're gonna make positive impact.